I can't believe this is where I'm at now. I'm not that person I wrote about 16 weeks ago at all. I don't have that mental block about myself, and I'm like more open. Like I think about things differently now. Like I think about different behaviors, just learning how to schedule things. Part of the mindset part, it like just helped me clear it out of my head instead of continuously harping on it in me.
Ooh, I've got my dogs like, wait a minute. All right, let's get started. Everyone, I want to introduce you to our amazing strong mom, Christina. I say this, I'm very lucky. I get all the highlight reels. I get the struggles too, but a lot of highlight reels. And I know that our whole coaching staff, we sat down and talked about it. Super excited to have you share your journey, not me share your journey. So if you can give everybody a quick kind of background on you, that would be awesome.
Sure. Christina, and I'm going to be 40 this year. So this year was kind of like the year that I was like having enlightenment, like I need to do this, need to take care of myself. I have been with my husband for almost 20 years, and my kids are 8 and 5. So I just started a new job last week. I had been working in the hospital during COVID. The past 8 years have been a struggle, and a lot of mental struggles too. So I ended up actually taking the past year off. And during this past year, it was kind of my mission for myself to help find myself and help get myself back to who I was before the kids, before everything. And I found Strong Mom. So that's why I found you guys, and it was the right time to do it. So,
and you were just scrolling through.
I just popped up one day and I clicked on it, and then I started watching all like these interviews, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting, and like just interested in to find more. And it took a couple weeks to be like, okay, it's like, is this the right thing? Because I had tried so many other methods on doing this, but I was like, okay. And so I reached out, and I think I talked to James like the first week, and then it was kind of just like went on from there. So
James is the best. Also, my husband's getting my dog out of here. I muted myself so you didn't hear her barking.
My dog's in the background.
James is the best. I'm glad you had a great conversation with him.
Yeah, he's very good. Yeah.
And I mean, we are on Facebook, but it is funny because we're just, I don't know. We get you somehow. We find you.
I don't know. I guess I was researching different programs, and I was looking for one that wasn't just about food and working out, but that also was about like a mental, like changing your mental mindset. Cause I felt like I was at that place that I needed didn't need somebody to help me with nutrition or fitness. I needed somebody to also help me with me, like mentally in my head. Like,
yes. And it's why we attract, when I talk to moms and I'm like, yep, this makes all sense why we found each other.
Mm-hmm.
Cause we do have people who they're not great fits because they're not looking for the whole. And I'm like, well, I don't think we can help you to the ability of that. We know we can, if you're only looking for workouts, that you can find those anywhere.
It was the first week. I guess it was one of the first podcasts or something that you had, a video you had shared, or I was watching it. And I remember I texted Michelle. I was like, Michelle, I know why this was supposed to work, because what Lauren said, I felt like that was me. And it just touched me. Like, I was like, I know this was the right program. And then I actually just texted her like 3 days ago, and I said the same thing. I was like, Michelle, this was just the right program for me. Like I couldn't even like get over it. I'm like crying now, but
no, I love it.
But I was like but it just, I don't know, from the first week to like, the 16th, it was like, I'm like, this was the right one for me. Like I finally found it. So
yeah, let everybody know. I mean, again, I'm like, I throw you on the spot, but what are some of the things that you've gone through, or the podcasts or videos, but what are most people I'm struggling with my words here. Most people, it's hard for us to explain our program, right? Like, and people always go mindset, like it's, It's really difficult to explain. Can you just share some of your journey, that if you had any aha moments, or just, I don't know, any parts of it that really stuck out to you?
When at the beginning, I was a little behind, and I just did I guess, oh gosh, like your new habits. And I just did that paperwork like earlier this week. And I looked back to what I had done prior, like initially in the first month. And I was like, and just the questions that the workbook asks you, and the videos on like that you and Jenna and everybody do, just to try and pull out different pieces to make you think about it, to really make you think about yourself. And just the questions that the work pages asks, I feel like you sit there and you dig deeper into yourself. And just using all of those pieces, it was like, I was like amazed when I looked back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this isn't the same person anymore. Like I am not that person anymore. And I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, like I was reading it, and I was like, this is not this. I feel like reading it the other day, that was like, I like almost like an, oh my God moment. Like, I can't believe this is where I'm at now. Like, I'm not that person I wrote about 16 weeks ago at all. Like, I don't have any, like, I don't have that mental block about myself. And I'm like more open. Like I think about things differently now. Like I think about different behaviors, just learning how to schedule things, like just like the podcast on like scheduling and how to manage things and managing just your life, like little things like that, especially with starting a new job last week. That was tremendous. In the past 2 weeks, like we've never had a schedule like this ever. And since my kids were little, and I feel like we've maintained the schedule for 2 weeks. And if it wasn't for like that, learning how to schedule time, I feel like I'd still be like lost, like running around, like trying to figure everything out. And it's been huge, like huge in the past couple of weeks. It's just,
yeah. Moms will come in and they'll be like, it's not the right time. I'm really busy. I'm like, no, this is the perfect time actually, because we can help you manage that. Mm-hmm. The goal isn't to give you a ton more to do. Yes, there's going to be work. Like in order to this is my favorite quote. Well, I have a bajillion favorite quotes, but in order to make a change, we do have to make a change, right? So things are going to be introduced and a little bit new, but I always look at setting ourselves up where it's short-term pain, like short-term, I don't want to say pain, but short-term, like got to get through it for, okay, now I can relax because it's the system's set up to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like, it's like, it's challenging just at first with everything, just getting adjusted to journaling, getting adjusted to like thinking about like, okay, your food, thinking about, oh, I got to fit this in. But at the end, like now I don't even think about it. It's just like, I planned my workouts for the week, like the beginning of the week. Like, okay, I have a busy week. I got to start on Sunday instead of Monday. And it's like, yes, it's stressful at the beginning. Yes, it's hard, but as you go through it, it just kind of becomes your routine. And it's not even, I don't want to say you don't even think about it anymore. You just do it. Your life just becomes that. And
you posted about that, right? I'm having a busy week. So you got it in on Sunday.
Yes. Yeah.
Those can I just side note, tell you how incredible those posts are, because especially with our new moms, sometimes they look at things as fact where it's like, oh, and the world opens up when we see people being flexible and making it fit your life. Cause at the end of the day, it's got to fit your life. Right. So that was a great post. Thank you. And also, can I tell you a little snapshot also? We have molded and changed and moved and edited and cut the modules multiple times, and adding in our last one where it asks you again to your new stories and your new, I'm not going to say new, but it wasn't how the program was originally created until we realized like we need people to go back and just, like see the massive difference. And so I'm really stoked because you actually saw and see, and like as intended, when you make something, you want them to use it as intended. And you're like, that's exactly why we never had it for the first, I don't know, 6 months or so. So I'm glad that you were able to use it.
Yeah, that was just incredible. I don't know. It was incredible. I couldn't believe, I was like, wow, I wrote this. Like, just, it's like, wow, I was really in that tough of a spot. Like, I mean, I still remember, I think I got upset on the first call, even with Michelle and everything. I was just like upset. I was like, wow, like, how did I get here? What did I do? Like, I had put myself on the back burner for so long that, like, with the kids and with like going to school, and I was like, where did I lose myself in this? And it's like, things happened in like our past, like with just depression, and I was in a bad spot. It took me a while to get out of it. And I felt like it was still there. And this was like kind of almost like the opening, like, I don't want to say like the medication, like the unmedicated medication that helped me get out of it. Like, it was like to see past it and be like, no, you can do this, and you'll be better. And now I feel better. And I'm like, wow, I'm not that person anymore, like, at all.
You're kicking ass. It's so awesome.
I feel so, I'm like, I still can't believe, I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't even think that way anymore. I was like, it's like, I feel like I finally put that chapter behind me. Like, one of the worksheets was like just something that was holding you back, and something that you were like, you kept draining on and like thinking about constantly. And it felt like getting it on paper kind of just helped me like almost close the book out of it. So it was like part of the mindset part. It like just helped me clear it out of my head instead of continuously harping on it in me. So
yeah, I feel that. I mean, a lot of the stuff that's in there was given to me through a therapist, and I did the work, and it's crazy putting something on paper. It's why I like journaling. It's one thing to wake up and say I'm grateful for, but it's another thing to like just take that time and put it down. So can you, and again, I'm putting you a little on the spot, but you said something that I think is really powerful for moms to be reminded of, because I think we all need reminders. You'd put yourself on the back burner for so long. I know moms get nervous about, well, if I put this investment into myself, time, energy, finances, all of it, like, I feel like I'm taking away from my family. Can you just speak to how you're able to show up today?
So it started with, I did post about this too. My kids have a train table downstairs, and it's like all like little model trains, and they love them. So what I did to help me get going and be able to make the time for myself was I'd be like, okay, let's go downstairs. You play your trains. Mommy's going to work out. So like after like a week or so of that, like a week or two, the kids were like, okay, mommy, we're ready to go downstairs. And it was almost like they were helping me along. And like one day I was like, well, I don't really have to work out today. Like, I already had planned my day, but my little one was like, mommy, I want to go play trains. Come on, let's go down. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going down today. And I guess we're going to do it today instead of, I think it was a rest day, but I was like, well, I'll just go on the treadmill instead. I'll just walk. But he wanted to go downstairs. So I was like, all right, let's go. So it's been, my kids have actually been like part of my little cheering squad, but my husband's also been like very supportive and just being like, you tell me the time you need. Cause I told him about this when was going to start. And I was like, I need you to help me get the time that I need. And he's like, you just tell me when and where. And like, sometimes he'll work out with me. And like, it was funny when he did, because he was like seeing me change. And he was like, I can't even do that. Or like, why would you do that? But it was just like the support of the family. Just, they helped me get through like the challenging, be like, oh, I really don't want to do this, but they're also cheering me on and wanting to do it with me. So that was for me.
You're setting a good example. As they grow up, they are just like, oh yes, workout, normalizing the things that are healthy habits.
Yeah.
I know I say this all the time, but we can tell our kids till we're blue in the face to do something. And then the next thing you know, they're doing what we're doing and you haven't told them to do that. You're just like, oh, wait, you must be watching me.
Yes. And we know he's listening. So it's like, even like food choices, like when we're eating food, he's like, well, that's a better choice than that, mommy. Like, and it's showing how like what we're doing is reflecting from them and how they're picking up on just little things. Like he's starting to, I mean, he's only 8 years old, but he's playing baseball now. So he's like, I want to get stronger. I want to get stronger. I want to be like mommy and daddy. And so he's like, what do I do? So he comes over and he tries to play on the TRX or just like, lift the tiny weights. And he's just, but they're just, I feel like feeding off of it now. They help me and we help them, I guess, learn. So.
I love this story because what's easy to do is create a future story of, well, if I take the time away, I'm going to be taking it away from my family. When in reality, when it's played out, you're like, actually, we are still together and it's a part that they enjoy and it's good for everybody. And it's crazy how we create this fictional story that always goes against us, right? We never make this fictional story that's like, everything's going to end up with rainbows and butterflies and sprinkles and unicorns coming out of like, but it's so interesting because we can talk ourselves out of doing anything with a negative story that hasn't quite happened yet. So I love that it played out not that way.
Yeah, no, it's like, even like, I mean, instead of a walk, like we'll be like, oh, let's go for a bike ride at the park today. And it's like, that includes them. So it's like family time, but I'm still moving. My body is still moving. It's not. So it's like, yes, it's a secret workout for mommy, but it's also family time for all of us. So
the best. All right. Last thing. And I know you've got some ducks to grab today. Get all your ducks and make a run for it. For everyone that's watching, for anyone that's watching, even if it's one person that's wondering this question or 100, what would you say to someone who's interested, who knows they need to make a change, they want to make a change, because those are two different things, but they're on the fence about Strong Mom?
I would say it's scary at first, but it's worth it. And your coach and you and Jenna and everybody is there for you the whole time. You're never alone. You always have support, and it's real. It's real. It works. It works. It's not I mean, don't be afraid to put yourself first and, trust the steps. Sometimes it might be, you might get discouraged or it might seem like a lot, but you have to take it day by day. And, but you're always a message away from somebody who wants to support you, and they're always going to be in your corner. Like, they're always going to be here for you. So I don't know. If I ever have a question, I have no problem going to Michelle and be like, I just need this. Even the beginning, I was like nervous about it because my kid was going to be in a certain an all-star game. And I was nervous for him and I was freaking out. And she gave me one of your podcasts where you were talking about kids and sports. And it just helped me and then I did a brain dump and it was like, it helped me out. It was just, but I don't know. It's the program works. Like, it's the one that I was looking for, it showed up and I, was looking for it, but it just showed up in my lap. It was there. So don't be afraid of it and just try it out and you won't regret it.
No, I love it. Thanks for sharing. So many moms can relate to wanting something more, not knowing how to get there.
Not knowing how to get there is probably the right.
Yeah. I mean, we talk, and I was saying this on another call before, like we need our head in the clouds, but we need that foot on the ground. Like it's the action that's going to create the change. So, and that was the one thing when Strong Mom was being created, I constantly told myself, is what my therapist told me. You can't change the way you feel, Lauren, but you can change your actions. Even if you don't want to go for a walk, you can still go for a walk. Mm-hmm. And so that was like constantly in the back of my mind. Like, I don't want to go do this, but I can. Mm-hmm. And then eventually you change your actions enough to create confidence and to see results that then create momentum, that now all of a sudden I'm starting to think differently, then my emotions are different. And all of a sudden this momentum starts rolling of, oh my gosh, I've actually made it far. I'm feeling better. And so, yeah, anyways, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you for creating it.
Oh, thank you. I also say on most of the calls that and anyone I talk to anywhere, my mind's blown with our community, right? Like when we created Strong Mom, I didn't know exactly where it was going to go. Same as everyone in life. I created it with a vision. And I thought, where my vision is, what got me from A to B, all of a sudden now seeing the moms in our community, it's because of you and because of our moms and the inner circle and all of the positivity. And I don't mean toxic positivity where it's just like fake, but all of the, people working towards solutions and feeling better and being better. I couldn't have dreamed this up. I mean, it's exceeded times a million, anything I even thought possible. So thank you for creating an awesome space.